Hello everyone, Storm11 here. Today we'll be taking a look into my June 2020 forecast. I'm gonna make this video a little bit quick where we're not gonna be looking at models. We're just gonna be looking into my own forecast here. So it's gonna be a pretty quick video. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get started with my temperature forecast. We'll also take a look at precipitation and the overall forecast as well. So, first thing to notice, there is some slight below average temperatures that could be going across portions of Montana, eastward into North Dakota, portions of northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, upper Michigan, and north central Michigan, or you could say central Michigan either way. And areas that has uh, no shade in color, that's equal chances. That's what EC means. That means you have a shot at getting slightly above average temperatures, slightly below average temperatures. Even models are indicating for some of these areas could see a couple of cool shots in middle of June, but we'll see about that how that's going to pan out again. That is mid June. The European models been showing that. So in this large yellow area, this is where we're going to be seeing slightly above average temperatures. It's a pretty large area. It goes for portions of the northwest, like Washington, southward through the west coast, down to the desert southwest, and even pretty much most of the Rockies as well, through the several plains into the southeastern United States, the east coast states, the mid Atlantic, even up into the northeast there. And there's an above average region. There's going to be a very persistent high that'll be going on, setting up across portions of the Rockies here. And if you're going to be on the west side of the high pressure system, you're going to get above average temperatures. However, if this high pressure does shift eastward, the west coast and the northwest might just get lucky enough with average temperatures for some of those areas there. Which, if you do get above average temperatures, it could get pretty warm, especially when it's the summertime. Which, in meteorology standards, it is the first day of summer where I'm making this video, but in earth science, stuff like that, it's somewhere in mid June. So, technically, it's not summer yet. It's not. But let's going on ahead and moving to my precipitation forecast here, you will notice there is a below average region across pretty much most of the decent chunk of the Rockies there, even into uh, portions of the plains as well, like Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, several Wyoming, portions of Utah, and even a first small area of Idaho. Surrounding that is slightly below average. There's also another area that's slightly below average precipitation. That is for the far northeast, which it includes places like Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire, even the northeast corner of New York State. And again, same situation as the temperatures. Easy means equal chances. You could see some slightly above average precipitation, or you can see slightly below average precipitation, or overall just average, where you want to put that. And the far north corner of the United States, that's where we're going to see some slight above average precipitation there. You're going to have a few systems that'll be going on from the Pacific, going over this ridge that'll be going on here in the Rockies, going over, then comes back down. You're going to have a few lows. Now, this is an area we're going to watch for the possibility for MCSs and possibly some derecho events. We have a northwest flow going on here. You will have CAPE, high dew points, a weak low pressure system coming in that can create some trouble, and we are already having an MCS threat that be going on in eastern South Dakota through portions of Minnesota into Wisconsin tomorrow, the time I make this video. And there's an enhanced risk for the MCS, and that could continue into Michigan and even into portions of the Northeast, like Pennsylvania, for example. So, And we could see more of these. It just really depends how the setup is going to be. With this high pressure going to be going on here across the Rockies here, if your jet stream flow is going to be suffering from like northwest to southeast, that could definitely have some trouble. If it's going over some high dew points and high cape values, if you have a weak low nearby, yeah, that's definitely a recipe for a EMCS or derecho to happen. And some of these areas here, on average, is a derecho per year. And it's really these areas in here. So likely in these areas in here, in the slide above average region, you have a decent chance for MCSs and derechos. And they are hard to predict, trust me, they are. We don't know how long they last or anything. You'll see on my overall forecast in a little bit. But going in pretty much the entire southeastern United States is an above average region uh, for precipitation due to high tropical activity. And also the time to make this video, we have a tropical depression number 3 that's now just off the coast of Mexico or Central America. It's going to be sticking around there for a while. Yeah, it'll probably become a tropical storm tomorrow. And and this will be moving north and kind of moving in this type of direction. But definitely areas to watch for tropical activity will be the Gulf Coast states for right now. And here's the overall forecast here. For what I'm predicting here, we're going to go from west to east, and we're going to start off with the Pacific Northwest here. We're going to zoom in. So in this green area here, you have a warm and wet sector here. You have warmer than average temperatures, and it could also be a little bit wet as well. Includes places like Seattle, Portland, places like that. Even Spokane there as well. In this orange area here, it is warm conditions. Goes in for places like Bend, Oregon, Medford, Redding, Reno, Sacramento, San Francisco, San Jose, Los Angeles as well. And even going into the panhandle of Idaho as well, kind of bending back there. And this little bit of a larger area here, this hot and dry sector here, it goes anywhere from southeastern Oregon, Idaho, going southeast through northern Nevada, Utah, southwestern Wyoming, a good decent chunk of Colorado, northeastern New Mexico, the panhandle of Texas, and even into Oklahoma. Probably a little too far to the southeast. I'd probably like to back this off a little bit more into some of these areas in here and probably have this area here in the average zone. Just didn't really have the time to change yet. Just realized that. But in this dark red area here, it's going to be hot. So very warm temperatures, 90s, 100s. You know how it is in the summertime in the desert southwest. It's just going to be hot down there. Um, and this goes for the desert southwest, of course, and even into central Texas. So it's going to be pretty warm in those areas. Let's go back a little bit further north. I don't know what color you'll say this, but this is the dry region. It goes from, let's see here, the Panhandle of Idaho, far western Montana through Yellowstone National Park, central Wyoming, into portions of Nebraska, Kansas, even the northeast corner of Colorado. In this large white area here, there's actually two areas of average regions. You got one area from central Montana to the Canadian border through northeastern Wyoming, South Dakota, portions of Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, and even into Arkansas, which I do think of that including more of Kansas and Oklahoma there. So yeah, and here's another average region. Basically, it just means an average winter, not winter, summer. June. What the heck am I thinking? And at your typical average June, we'll go over here and includes places like Buffalo, even New York City as well, and even Allentown, places like that. Even includes Philadelphia there. Even supposed to include Long Island there as well. Just really most of New York State into portions of Pennsylvania, and even most of New Jersey. And let's first talk about the cool and wet region. It kind of follows along pretty much the Canadian border of Montana through North Dakota, Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, upper Michigan, into central Michigan there. It just says itself, just cool and wet there. But in this red zone here, like I said, we need to keep an eye on for the possibility MCSs and derechos. Models have really been hinting on for some active severe weather in the northern plains. It just really depends how the 500 millibar winds are going to be. If you're going to have winds coming from the northwest, if we have like a storm complex that developed in Montana, kind of dissipates in, a derecho might try to form in Minnesota. Can go for Wisconsin. I mean, it can go on for a long time. Just depends it's basically just going to follow along. If there's like a stationary front, stuff like that, it will follow that. You have 500 millibars there, wind speed, and high cape, and high dew points. So, and we do have a recipe for that, like I said, for tomorrow the time I'm making this video. And this red zone here goes from eastern Montana through North Dakota, northern South Dakota, most of Minnesota, most of Wisconsin, northeastern Iowa, northern Illinois, into southern Michigan, most of Indiana, pretty much the entire state of Ohio, entire state of West Virginia, western Pennsylvania, and central and northern Kentucky there. And again, just really depends on the 500 millibar jet stream. If I show you guys one model, it's having the 500 millibars, uh, the jet stream of how it's going to be going. It kind of goes it's like this above the ridge, and then it goes southeast here in time. So, and it could continue on further. It could go outside of this red zone. We just don't really know. And it's also that season for MCSs and derechos as well. Keep in mind of that. This green zone here, that's going to be for some stormy weather. If you're going to have a cold front, like example here, a couple days out from today, the time I'm making this video, there will be a cold front moving in, kind of staying stationary, and then it'll start to go back up north. You'll have high dew points, you got some instability, so you get pop-up thunderstorms. Some of those could be strong or severe as well for some of these areas in here, but it's just not really uh, wide widespread. The northeast there, in the yellow, it's going to be dry and it's also going to be warm up there as well. Kind of tells you. And in this pink area here, this is where we're going to have some of the most where I predict where most of your tropical systems will be going. There'll be a Bermuda high building over here, so it's going to make all these storm systems kind of go into the Gulf. Some of them might be able to go through the East Coast. We're going to see about that. Just depends on the Bermuda high of how that's going to set up. I do have a vacation that'll be going on Myrtle Beach, South Carolina later this month. So now I don't know if I will get a tropical system. That's why I mentioned about that. If we do, we'll see if we still go there. Highly doubt it, but if we go there, it'll be pretty interesting if we do see, if I do see a system there. Definitely make a video on that if I do get to see something like that. And I forgot to show you guys something there from the beginning of the video. And this is going to be the Climate Prediction Center's forecast here. Back in May 21st is when they made this. And here's their June forecast for temperatures, kind of similar to mine, warmer than average conditions, pretty much across the desert southwest, the two portions of the Rockies. Just looks like there's just going to be like a big trough there. You know how they are. They're usually a little bit too warm. With their forecasts, they're really average temperatures across the central United States here into the Tennessee Valley, the Midwest region in there. Should probably get a different color for this. You can see it's warm across the Northeast. It's also warm down in Florida as well. And last but not least, and that's their precipitation here. Uh, they're actually predicting drier than normal conditions, but models are starting to shift where there's going to be a high pressure kind of building pretty much right here. And when you're going to have a ridge here, your ridge is going to be kind of strong. So it's going to be something uh like this here. There could be another high, there could be another ridge up here as well. Not really 100% sure. But where, like I was talking about with the MCS's derechos, your winds in your systems will be coming like this. You can see here it starts to go in northwest flow. That's what we're going to watch for, especially with weak systems. Um, with this high pressure system, especially for this one here, if there's probably, I believe there's going to be a one there for June, it's going to be providing for some instability and high dew points as well. So it's a pretty good recipe for MCS's derechos kind of in these areas in here for that as well. But anyways, guys, this is all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this June 2020 forecast. If you guys did like this forecast, hit that like button. If you really do like my channel, hit that hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notifications so you're there for best upload. If you guys have questions about this, you can put in the comment section down below. I will answer your guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.